So we've already had a taste of Lizzie Ankudowich's presentation, but now we get to see it for real. She's going to talk to us about NIH and NIMH initiatives.
Hi there. I'm Lizzie Ankudowich. I run the multimodal neurotherapies program at NIMH. But I'm also a program officer for the Brain Initiative, and today I'm going to be talking about a new funding opportunity at the Brain Initiative called Brain Behavior Quantification and Synchronization. So this is really about studying the brain in action. Behavior is the primary output of the brain, and we know that understanding its neural health is really key to advancing neuroscience, but it's also key to supporting brain health. Understanding the full complexity of behavior requires detailed, multidimensional analysis of a broad range of behaviors in the context of the environment. Tools for quantifying neural activity with high temporal and spatial resolution already exist, but behavior is often measured at a relatively lower temporal scale, making discovery of causal linkages challenging. And tools for measuring the full richness of complex behaviors, synchronizing these tools to behavior, to neural activity with high resolution are currently lacking. And this is really consistent with the recent Brain 2.0 reports that called for more sophisticated methods of quantifying behavioral, environmental, and internal state influences on individuals. And they also called to advance tools for naturalistic, untrained behaviors and also trained behaviors, and to assimilate and link brain recordings with behavior. The current state of the art is that we have devices that have high spatial and temporal resolution. We have greater remote capabilities with the ability to record, store, and transmit more remotely. We have capabilities to both record and stim, and we have increased features like MR conditional devices. But we still lack seamless integration with behavioral capture systems, and we lack the ability to support multimodal integration in order to synchronize different types of data streams with neural recording. And we still have some remaining capacity limitations. So in terms of the state of the art, we have wearable intracranial EEG devices, the ability to record in freely moving humans. This is data actually from Nantya Sutana's lab, where we can track an individual's position in space while we simultaneously record their brain data. And we can actually look at influences from the environment, so we can observe the individual's position with respect to others, individuals in space. And what we're seeing here in this study is that they showed state-dependent effects of stimulation in this controlled environment. So imagine the stimulation parameter space when we start really seeing how stimulation differentially impacts circuit and networks in different naturalistic settings. One thing we lack in this space is we lack a full range of behavioral responses. We lack the ability to capture environment and sensory cues that may influence behavior. We're limited still to the lab environment. As you can see, this is not very low profile gear. It's a mounted backpack with a head-mounted gear. And we can only really track positions in space. We're not actually capturing body movements or postures. This is another study from Catherine Scangos, who mapped behavioral responses to stimulation in one individual with depression using 160 implanted contacts in limbic structures over the period of 10 days. And this was for the purpose of individualized DBS targeting. And the behavioral readouts here comprised some self-reports and rating scales. And we have kind of this opportunity to have exquisite access to map these behavioral responses onto limbic system structures. But we still lack objective measures of behavioral response. This is kind of a missed opportunity to capture a fuller a range of behavioral responses using sensors that can capture a range of behaviors. And we're limited to the laboratory. This is not ambulatory technology. So this is a really great example of a high-resolution manipulation of human neural circuitry that is paired with low-resolution behavioral readouts. So where are the research gaps? We have the ability to record neural activity with high temporal and spatial resolution. We have good resolution for behavior, but it's often not naturalistic. It often fails to capture the full range of behavior in the environment. We have some bulky equipment that enables us, that limits movement. And our modeling is limited because we have mismatched time resolutions between brain and behavior. We have ecologically valid tools, but they're really in a limited range of modalities that are sampled. And we lack practical systems for long-term ambulatory recording in the real world. And what's really critical here is we don't have an objective readout of an individual's internal states. So we have no objective, observable measure of an individual's intention, craving, mood, thought, hunger, perceptions, pain, reward, or suicidal intent. And this is really important because right now we're using proxy measures. But we also have no way to train valid internal state decoders in the absence of objective readouts of an individual's internal state. So where are the opportunities in this space? We could expand the types of behavioral sensors that we're deploying to capture a full range of the behavior in the environment in which it takes place and also in the lab. We can link brain and behavior at the same resolution in real time. We can deploy sensors in real-world settings for unobtrusive recording of naturalistic behaviors in the environment. We can bring circuit recording into the real world with ambulatory systems. And we can infer internal states from quantified behaviors in order to get some sort of readout of what an individual's internal states are. And we can use machine learning and artificial intelligence tools to decode internal states from the circuit activity that we're recording. And we can develop closed-loop systems that can modulate circuit activity with behavior in the loop. Right now, there is an explosion of new and advanced unobtrusive technologies. We can repurpose sensors from other fields that could be deployed throughout BBQS. There are also the addition of machine learning and artificial intelligence approaches that we could use in this space, and multimodal data integration platforms that could support integration across multiple data streams. And we can capitalize on these emerging technologies to develop next-generation sensors for brain research applications. There are many opportunities for data science in this space. Measuring a broad range of behaviors with an array of different sensor technologies will generate high dimensionality data that can support data-driven modeling and theory building and testing, and it can be synergistic with existing brain informatics portfolios. And this can really enable secondary large-scale analyses that could be used to identify the most meaningful biomarkers in this space. There are also opportunities for informatics in this space. We can leverage existing multimodal data archives, and we can really want to stress the FAIR principles here, including interoperability with existing data archives that are funded in part with Brain Initiative support. We can build out the existing data standards and expand the brain informatics program and facilitate dissemination in this space. And all of these things are really necessary to build a healthy data ecosystem that has longevity. So this is a proof of concept for this type of work. This group received a first round of BBQS, that's what we call it, supplemental funds. And we can see here that there are multiple streams of data that are being collected in the context of someone who's receiving DBS for OCD. And you can see this includes facial capture, and multiple data streams that will be used to infer an individual's internal states from these quantified behaviors. And these experiments are really taking place kind of in a controlled setting, but the team's also able to introduce kind of contamination-based triggers into the environment in order to actually gauge behavioral responses concurrent with DBS. And this is used to train adaptive DBS systems that can modulate the brain state and actually disrupt maladaptive behaviors when and where they occur. Nicole Provenza, who presented at one of our brain investigators meetings, actually was part of this team that advanced this research, and she was gracious enough to speak with us at our recent workshop this spring, where we tried to stimulate discussion about the advances necessary for more comprehensive understanding of the neural bases of behavior by hosting a diverse group of multidisciplinary experts from a range of fields that would highlight the importance of capturing naturalistic conditions that give rise to a rich repertoire of behavior and discuss the computational and technological gaps. And all of the recordings of this from these discussions are available on our event website for those who would like to hear more about the evolution of this particular opportunity. What I really want to focus on today is that we just wrote a funding announcement opportunity in this space. It is a staged award. It's RFA MH 22240. And the purpose really is to support the development and validation of next generation tools, methods, and analytic approaches to precisely quantify behaviors and combine them with simultaneous recordings of direct neural activity in humans. Tools for measure and analyzing behavior should be multimodal, with the appropriate accuracy, specificity, temporal resolution, and flexibility necessary to integrate existing tools that are used to measure and modulate brain circuits that give rise to those behaviors. So the application deadline is in February, and I also included our dedicated inbox contact here, brainbbqs at od.nih.gov. Please reach out to us if you have any questions about how some of your technologies could be used in a kind of in this context. We'd be happy to discuss new tools and technologies. But I really wanted to just present some of the focus areas of this funding opportunity. In terms of tools, we're really striving here to advance novel methods to capture and quantify multiple dimensions of behavior in real time. We want to advance environmental sensing and improve integration of contextual measures with measures of behavior. We want reliable tools that can passively obtain objective measures that accurately reflect or predict an individual's subjective and internal states. And we also are interested in repurposing existing technologies to capture dynamic behavior and integrate it with physiological measures. So utilization of existing technologies such as wearables and smartphones and watches that can capture dynamic behavior and integrate behavior and physiological measures at the same time scale. We're also interested in developing new technology that is less obtrusive, that has a longer storage capacity, that can achieve a higher temporal resolution and be used across different temporal timescales. So really slimming down and streamlining that profile for the mounted headgear that I showed earlier. We're also interested in novel approaches. We want to integrate passive measures of behavior with subjective reports of individuals' internal states. And this can be combined with the use of existing technologies such as ecological momentary assessments or EMAs. We also want to integrate multiple data modalities and data streams and integrate peripheral biophysiological measures with complex behaviors to get a really rich repertoire. And we also are interested in advancing novel tools and approaches in terms of analytic tools, including machine learning and artificial intelligence methods that can focus on behavior quantification. We're also interested in advancing computational and conceptual frameworks in this space, where we actually can look at multiple levels of behavior and brain function and put it in the same model that can actually integrate and synchronize these multimodal data streams. So in conclusion, BBQS seeks really to stimulate a paradigm shift in how the neural basis of behavior is discovered by studying behavior as a multi-dimensional response that considers the full range of observable components and the individual's interactions with the environment and changes in internal state. We want to synchronize many data streams from the body and the environment with neuronal activity in real time. We want to build new conceptual and computational models of behavioral systems. We want to use new tools to test hypotheses, to predict state changes in individuals, and that might actually guide new interventions in terms of closed-loop technologies. Here, this is a slide for reference. It includes all the materials associated with this funding opportunity. It has the funding opportunity. It also has all the concept clearances that will tell you about each institute's priorities in this space, which is helpful, I think. It also has the link to our workshop that includes videos and slides, as well as discussions, recorded discussions of the various stakeholders in this space. And I also included our contact information at the bottom. So for the last few minutes, I'm going to pivot for a little bit to talk about another initiative that David alluded to earlier. And I'm actually presenting this on behalf of my colleagues that are involved in the Blueprint MedTech program, and they're listed here. And you can also see listed at the bottom are all the institutes that are signed on to this program and participate in the program. So for those of you who don't know, the Blueprint MedTech program is an NIH incubator that aims to accelerate the development of cutting-edge medical devices to diagnose and treat disorders of the nervous system. The mission is to catalyze the translation of novel neurotechnologies from early-stage development into first-in-human clinical studies, and to accelerate patient access to groundbreaking and safe and effective medical devices. The program supports the development and de-risking of novel devices to the point where stakeholders such as industry partners and investors and government institutes can actually continue to develop these technologies. So in terms of support, Blueprint MedTech provides funds that support device development activities, but it also provides free resources and support services through access to NIH-funded consultants, CROs, and staff. Blueprint MedTech is currently accepting applications for 2 funding opportunities. These opportunities provide funding for translational activities and clinical studies to advance the development of therapeutic and diagnostic devices for disorders that affect the nervous system. David alluded to the incubator hubs. They're listed here. There's Synta and NTH, Neurotech Harbor. These are 2 of the hubs that came into the program. One is located at Johns Hopkins. The other one is Howard University. They're joint. And the other one is located at MGH. Right now, there are 2 funding opportunities in the streets. One is specific for SBIRs in this space. The other one allows anyone to apply. And there are also special notices or NOCs in this space of different initiatives that have invested in Blueprint MedTech, including Brain Initiative and HEAL Initiative. So for more information on all this, you can visit the website. This is the Blueprint website. You'll find additional information on how to contact staff and what the services that are offered are, as well as the resources that Blueprint MedTech provides, as well as any current funding opportunities. This is the Blueprint core team. I think Oh yeah, one person is missing on this slide. Originally, David was part of this team. He knows the program very well. And I also just wanted to note that Blueprint MedTech also has a dedicated inbox where team members can field any of your questions in this space. And then I finally just wanted to thank all of my team members on the BBQS side that have actually helped develop and grow that initiative. And I'm actually happy to take any questions on BBQS and Blueprint MedTech if I can. Hi.
Yeah, so obviously behavior is a big bucket. Are there pathological behaviors that are highly prioritized?
Yeah, so we really tried to be, the question is, are there pathological behaviors that are prioritized in this space? Because behavior really encompasses a broad range of different types of behavior, obviously. So the answer is that we really try not to be prescriptive in the types of behaviors that we want to quantify in this space, but we do understand that particularly in patients who receive, who have intracranial recording abilities, these are often patients. And so patients are welcome and individuals, research in patients is welcome, and individuals across healthy and disease states are also welcome. So tools don't necessarily need to be designed for a specific patient population or a specific indication, although they can be. But we were thinking also that more ubiquitous tools could be designed that could be validated using certain patient populations as well. So really, we're not prescriptive. We really want people to be creative with the types of tools and methods and approaches that they propose, and we're hoping that this can be a really exciting investigator-driven space.